Hi guys, Dr. Justin Buerta, the Tattoo Business Doc. So there's no easy way in discussing estates or death. And I do apologize for the humming of what can we call it? The generator hummingbird there in the background. As we all know, power is always an issue in South Africa. So, generators it is because they're stolen cables. Right, estates. Now, guys, I learned just over 2 years ago what it means to lose a spouse and everything else in the 6 months of mourning that passes after them passing. As I'm Catholic and all those kind of things, you go into a mourning period of between 6 months and a year and a day. I could only afford 6 months, or else I think my clients would have run away. But it also highlighted how bad it is when someone passes away without a will and testament. Now this week people have becoming a lot more awake to the fact that you need to have a will and testament. So I've been consulting with a lot of people on their estates and their wills and planning, all those kind of things. And it's something that a person cannot leave until you're dead. If you're dead, you're bloody dead. Now, there's massive problems, and I get a lot with where Africans own shareholdings and are involved with businesses, everything else, because the African culture is different to what the law requires, and it makes life very difficult. It makes life very, very difficult because some of them are married in terms of customary marriages. Yes, there's an act that allows for it, but it makes it terribly difficult to go and get an appointment as executor at the Master High Court. And so a lot of people, when I lost my partner, my spouse, he didn't have a will and testament, but he didn't own much. Pretty much just the car I bought him, and that was it. And it's taken over 2 years to get this car transferred into my name. Now, that holds everything up. And these days, the lead time for any will or estate is 5 years. Now, guys, I've dealt with living people that's got a living estate where they have got dementia, then frail care institutions, and family come to me because there's a war in the family already taking place, and the poor old girl and poor old bat's not even dead yet. Yes, she doesn't recognize a single person of her family, but she's still alive. She's still a mother, she's still a grandmother, she's still a great-grandmother. And even before she's dead, the family has been fighting about her money. And when she eventually passed, again, they went into a battle, and I think the battle is now raging for 5 years. The estate is stuck and cannot be wound up. Nothing can be done because the two brothers are at war with each other because who gets what and who what and money and. Guys, you'll see the worst come out of your family when you die. And when you die without a will and you die without estate planning and everything else, you cause so much additional trauma because, man, I hate doing estates. I really, really do, because you get into massive battles with families over nothing. And people aren't always honest with their family members in terms of, where is my stuff? And also passwords and login details to your social media platforms. I had an incident, especially with my spouse passing. He had a pay-as-you-go contract. And after 6 months of inactivity, Vodacom then recycles the number. Yeah, you can see, you make my heart smile. You kind of did. And now I kind of am one of those angry widowers. What can I say? But, you guys, it's battles. It gets into terrible battles. And people are so secretive about their estates because they know they don't want to tell everybody. And I found... security boxes at the bank where I've got to empty that out, and there's Krugerrands and diamonds and all sorts of family heirlooms, and then I've got to sell all of that off because I'm an executor. I make money out of selling stuff off, and that money eventually goes to family, but I make a fee. So, I'm one of those guys. I advise people, when you're on your way out, start putting stickers on stuff, start telling people to start taking the stuff out of the bloody house. You don't need it, you're on your way out. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to speak to people. I know nobody wants to speak about death, but guess what? You're not going to live for 1,000 years, okay? It's not possible. Cryogenics ain't there. We can't SARS have been resurrecting dead companies and people, I mean, they've got some divine powers. Whoa. Telling you, they electrified me about a client that's been dead for a few years, and I said to them, you know what? Give me half an hour. I'll get you the grave number, and you can go and dig up the person, and then ask them to pay their taxes. And then the lady said to me, okay, well, can't I speak to the family, and then they can pay? And I'm like, you got to just be butt fucking me, to be honest. And that was my answer. And the poor lady, I think, probably had a heart attack because nobody speaks to them like that. But I mean, really? Really? But guys, you do your family and yourself and your memory disservice if you do not leave some sort of instruction after you pass. And that's the only way you can do this in a legal matter. It's in a will and testament. You know, I've got a memory box for my spouse. So there's ashes in here, but there's also a lot of small little things in here, which remind me a lot of our journey and the kids and everything else that came along with that. And one day when I pass, I'll be in a small little box like this, and this box, my box, will be taken to a secret place, which nobody. I found this place on one of my mountainous tours and with my Jeep, and I don't even know how I found that waterfall, because you don't even know it's really there. You can't hear it, but once you're in there, in the bush, all the way down, almost killed yourself, then you get to this beautiful place. I mean, really, it's just so tranquil, so quiet, so beautiful, from birds and everything else, and the waterfall. And there's space in the rocks where the two boxes will go, and it'll be sealed, so it lasts for 1,000 years. So maybe someday some archaeologist starts digging, and then they find the boxes, and then it's just that they don't think about what's in the boxes. But guys, estates need to be planned. It doesn't matter how old you are, you've got to do it. Please just do it. I know it's not easy. I would advise you get someone proper, like an attorney or an accountant, to do it. These big companies and the banks, a lot of people say, no, the bank's got my will and testament. Guys, there's like 3,000 people that work at a bank. So your estate literally jumps from one person to next. So your estate then definitely does not get wound up before 5 years. I struggle to wind up estates under 2 years. And it's not even big estates. There's just so much red tape and so much bullshit and so much crap that you've got to go through. Then you've got to fight with the family, which is all in deep trauma. And they're angry and they're disappointed. So guys, it's very tough. So you make it hard if you do not have a will and testament. Speak to a person and not an institution. Got your back, and I'll see you next time, and everything's going to be okay. Here we go.